All right, you guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode number 3 of the Mindtality podcast. I'm Rodolfo, your host, and I'm going to be riding solo today. And the theme for today, the topic, if you will, is going to be about how to stay motivated. We're going to be talking a little bit about motivation. I'm going to give you guys just 2 points. Yeah, that's right, just 2 points on things that I do to help keep me motivated. As you can see the sign right here in the back, if you're watching on YouTube or any other video platform, it says, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. And that's actually going to be one of my points today. But before we jump in it, let's go ahead and open up with a little icebreaker, just in case you guys are getting in the car or you're plugging in your earbuds to go on a run. The opening segment for this week is not as fun as last week, but it's an opportunity for you guys to get to know me better. And for this example here, I'm going to be sharing 3 TV shows that I am actively watching. I'm currently watching. And number one on the top of my list is definitely The Mandalorian. You can find The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, only on Disney Plus. And the reason why I like The Mandalorian, one, because it's Star Wars related, and 2, because of the plot. Like, he is a bounty hunter, so he lives day by day. He doesn't have a set salary. He doesn't work for specifically one person. He makes his money by hustling. You know, he eats when food's available. Another thing, he doesn't show his face. He doesn't take off his helmet. He's kind of like this Lone Ranger. It's like this Western film. The scoring or the music that backtracks the whole episode, each episode, is amazing. So definitely number 1 on the list is Mandalorian. Number 2 is going to be also Star Wars related. It's the Clone Wars, also on Disney Plus. It's the animation series. There's 7 seasons. The Mandalorian just finished their 2nd season. So Star Wars Clone Wars, 7 seasons, like 20 episodes per season for Star Wars Clone Wars. I'm starting to become like a Star Wars geek, so it kind of fills in everything between the movies that you see in theaters. You know, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace. You know, The Empire Strikes Back. It kind of fills in the gaps in between all that. Let's see here. And last but not least, number 3 on my top 3 TV shows that I'm watching is The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. It's about an orphan who picks up the art of chess, has to deal with some struggles with drug and alcohol abuse, and her passion and gift towards chess. And it's only like 8 episodes, but these episodes are about an hour deep, an hour long. So kind of time consuming, but you enjoy it. Like, you fall for the plot. Like, you're into it. You know, you're trying to predict what's gonna happen next, and you kind of feel for the main character. You kind of feel for her. Her name's Harmon. You kind of feel for her, and yeah. So it's really good. I recommend these 3. If you're definitely like, no way, and Rodolfo, no way, Aaron, I'm not doing Star Wars, that's definitely up to you. But I do recommend The Queen's Gambit. I will say, though, that it is about chess, and if you don't know anything about chess, I suggest you kind of look into it. Or if like you've always wanted to like maybe get into it, this would be a good motivating solution. I definitely always seen people play chess and just thought it was too far out. I sat down, downloaded a How to Play Chess app, and I learned in 30 minutes. And then watching this movie not helps me understand it better, but kind of makes me like have more in common with the movie, with the TV series, I guess. All right, I'm gonna stop geeking out. So that's the opening segment for today's podcast. Let's jump straight into it. So the theme and the topic for today's podcast is pretty simple. It's how to stay motivated. And if I'm not looking exactly at the camera, I'm looking at my Google Docs as a blueprint for where I'm going to go to next. Point number 1 is influence. I think influence is huge. Regardless of who you are, what age you are, what type of person you are being influenced, whether you know it or not. You're being influenced by your friends. You're being influenced by your family. You're being influenced by a relative or something, a close friend. You're being influenced. Movies, music, posters, propaganda, you're being influenced. Social media, you're no exception to the rule of the human, and the human are creatures of habit. So if we're being groomed a certain thing for a certain while, we start to believe in it. Okay, and so with influence being my first point, I want you guys to ask yourself the W's when it comes to influence: the who, the what, the why, the where, the when. I think those are all 5. And the reason why I asked you to run the W's past yourself when in regards to influence is because this allows you to become more aware of your progress, and it helps you measure the seriousness you have towards your goal. So, and I have a couple examples here. So my long-term goal is to upload 104 videos on YouTube in 1 year cycle. So I think I started December 11th. So from December 11, 2020 to December 11, 2021, my goal is to upload 104 videos. And you're probably like, why 104? Does that even match like the year cycle? Yes. So before we get to that, I just wanted to share that's my long-term goal, 104. Okay. And so let's run the W's. I have a couple W's to give you guys examples. So the first W is the what. That's the W that I'm going to share with you guys. What is influencing me? Again, the W, what? What is influencing me? Okay. And I pointed earlier at the steel sign that says when you feel like quitting, remember where you started. So that in itself is influencing me every morning when I wake up and I look at that sign right there. That is a source of influence in my life, So whether I'm going to work or I'm going to go record something to upload and I don't want to, I feel like I don't want to, I feel discouraged or I feel down. I look back at that sign and then boom, just like that, I get this spark of motivation because it's deep. That sign has some power. When you feel like quitting, when you're down and out, when you feel like it's pointless, when you feel like, okay, I gave it all everything I had, I gave it my all. It says, when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. And so I think, okay, why did I start? And that's another W. Why did I start uploading videos on YouTube? And to add just a quick answer, because it's not too relevant to this specific podcast here, is because I want to be someone's source of entertainment, someone's source of happiness, someone's source of just like their escape from reality for, 10 to 20 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes are my uploads. Okay, the second example, and then I want to ask you guys before we get to the second example, what is on your wall? Look around, or if you're not at the house, think about what is on your wall and try to imagine if there's a correlation meaning like if there's a relationship between how you're acting and what's on your wall. Is it negative? Is it positive? It's important. And guys, you're no exception to the rule of influence. Okay, example number 2. When, that's the second W that I'm going to be using, when do I actively work towards my goal? So again, as mentioned earlier, I did promise myself 2 videos a week minimum. This puts pressure on me not to get too distracted from my job, my loved ones, and procrastination. I give myself the freedom to choose 2 days in a 7-day cycle. And the reason why, not the reason, but the way I got 104 videos per in a 1 year cycle is because there's 52 weeks in a year. So just times that by 2 and it's 104. So I chose to do Mondays as my my first upload day, and I think Friday is my latest I can do. My second upload day. So at any point I could do it on Tuesday, Wednesday, I could do it on Thursday, Friday, I could do it on Saturday, Sunday, but by Monday, that's the reset of the 7-day cycle. So I give myself that flexibility just because sometimes when you give yourself too strict of a rule, too strict of a goal, you set yourself up for failure. So I give myself the freedom to choose any 2 days in a 7-day cycle I need for that required 2 videos per week. Okay. And so my question to you is, when do you actively pursue your goal? First of all, what is your long-term goal? And if I haven't mentioned this earlier, you guys, this podcast today, this theme topic today is focusing on how to stay motivated with long-term goals, with long-term careers, and long-term passions. Okay. So the second question for the second example is, when do you actively pursue your goal? It's important to understand. Okay. When do you actively pursue your goal? For me, I actively pursue my goal 2 days a week. One day on Mondays, I record. Today I'm recording this morning. When I finish, I'm going to edit this, create a thumbnail, and post it on YouTube. And then the second thing I'm going to do is on Fridays or on my day off, typically Friday's the latest I upload, but if I have a day off Wednesday, Thursday, on one of those days, I'm going to use that as my second day to record, edit, and upload. And so that is how I actively pursue the second point. And this one's really easy. It's reflection. This one is huge. This one, if you want to take your game to the next level, whatever it is in sports, if it's in education, if it's at your job, it starts with this point right here. Point number 2, reflection. So taking a step back and viewing your life from an unbiased perspective. That is exactly what reflection is. Reflection is taking a step back. It's kind of like you're playing a board game and you take a step back and you want to kind of look at it from different angles, right? That's exactly what reflection is. Now you're probably telling me, like, reflection, really? Yes, reflection. It's a time to be honest. It's a time to be self-critical. It's an opportunity for you to do something on a daily basis. It's an opportunity for you to finally be consistent about something in your life for once, and to hold yourself accountable. No one's riding you about it. No one's on your ass about it. It's just you. You're holding yourself accountable. You're giving yourself an opportunity to be consistent. And I have an example for you guys. And this is an example I do every day. I haven't done it quite yet. It's 7:30 a.m., but I will do it today. And it is, I push for 1 page of writing. 1 page of writing per day, a minimum of 1 paragraph per day. So I shoot for a page, but if I'm so crunched on time, if I'm Mr. Important, I try to do a paragraph. And if I'm Mr. Presidential and I'm so busy I don't have time to reflect at least 1 page, 1 paragraph, I try to do, at the very minimum, you guys, 1 sentence. That's it. So reflection is point number 2 on how to stay motivated. It's reflection. So 1 page on paper in writing, not typing up. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care if you took a typing class and your handwriting's horrible. I really believe that when you are physically writing on a piece of paper or with either a pencil or a pen, you're more attached to what you're writing. You're more focused on what you're writing. It's just, you don't want to tempt yourself on a laptop or a computer to open up a tab. Oh, let me play music. No, for one page, for 1 paragraph or 1 sentence, you're going to reflect about your life. You don't need music. You don't need to talk to anyone else. Just for this little moment, give yourself this time to reflect. You guys, this is for your long-term goal, your long-term career. Get serious about what you do. Okay. And point number 2 is going to help you take your game to the next level. Okay. So, and starting the second you get up, that's probably the most convenient time, only because a lot of us have a lot to do, either appointments, we have to follow some sort of schedule. The first thing you do, I suggest you get a notebook, or if you can't afford one, it's 75 cents stack of papers at like a Walmart or something, or 99. And just 1 page a day, or 1 paragraph a day, or 1 sentence a day. You're going to reflect on your life. You reflect on how you feel that morning, how you felt the night before. You're going to reflect on what you dream about. You're going to reflect on what you have to do today. You're going to reflect on the mistakes you made the past day and how you're going to change that. So don't just reflect and just leave it at that. Reflect and then put a spin to it. Put some positivity behind it. Yesterday wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but today's a different day. Today, I refuse to allow my day to go sour. Okay. And that's pretty much going to do it for this podcast. I'm going to send you guys off with a positive quote, and it's by Maya Angelou. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Thank you guys for watching. This is Rodolfo, the Mindtality Podcast. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.